One day, the mother is on the meeting of the neighborhood association, of which she is the president. She has two children, one a girl of 7 and a boy of 8. They were both tall for their age. A man came to greet the mother.
What are things that we could improve in our community, madam? We will talk about it later.
Oh, hi. Good evening, madam.
Oh, hi!
I'm Vicente, one of your neighbors. Are they your children?
Yes, they are.
Oh, I've never seen two children looking so smart.
Oh, thank you so much. But you know, they are so lazy with their assignment.
If you don't mind, I can help them.
If you want to bother yourself, sure.
You know what, Vicente, our classmate is so envious us because of these fancy pencils that you gave. Please buy us more, please.
Oh, really?
Yes, please buy us more, please.
Go and ask if you can give me a glass of water.
Here you go.
Please buy us more pencil, okay?
Of course.
Yay!
Yay!
Many as you want.
Please.
This is...
Don't hold me on your lap. You will get tired.
It's okay.
Vicente sit the little girl on his lap. His face was sweating and his eyes looked strange, which frightened the little girl. The little girl jumped away from Vicente's lap, and her mother came downstairs.
What's wrong?
Get out! Get out!
What happened, Mom?
Take off your clothes.
Mother bathed the little girl, burned her dress, and threw the
Good
pencils.
afternoon. So we will be discussing a short story which is entitled Magnificence by Estrella Alfon. So this story is actually a mother's love for her children, and my group mates will be discussing how the story will be formed. So first one, the setting. Okay, so the place actually happened just in their home. The story happens in the house where the two children live with their parents. The family is living normally. The mother is problematic about her two children who are so lazy in doing their assignments. Next one is the time. Every night, because this is the only available time of Vicente, which is the bus conductor, to tutor the two children. Next one is the social condition atmosphere. Vicente as the bus driver conductor, the mother as the president of the village, little girl as the student, same as well with Oscar, her brother, the little boy, which is the student. So in social condition atmosphere, the life of the characters is just normal on what is actually happening on a daily life basis. Next one is the mood of the story, which is protective and fearful. The mother is being protective because she is doubting Vicente on what Vicente's intention to her children are. And next one is the fearful because the little girl is so innocent that she becomes afraid on what is Vicente's doing to her. And next one, our reporter.
Hi guys, and I'm Jaime Enoch for the plot of the story. We have the Rictus pyramid, which composes introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement. For the introduction, the story is started when the mother was in their neighborhood's meeting. Vicente introduced himself and volunteered to be the children's tutor. And for the rising action, It is when Vicente asked Oscar to bring him some drinks while Vicente started showing signs of perversion. And for the climax of the story, it is when Vicente sipped the little on his lap. His face was sweating and his eyes looked strange, which frightened the little girl. And for the following action, the little girl jumped away from Vicente's lap and her mother came downstairs. She talked with Vicente, slapped him, and threw him out of the house. And for the denouement of the story, the mother bathed the little girl, burned her dress and threw the pencils, then she put her to sleep. By the way, the pencils that being referred here is the gift of Vicente to the children.
And now, we discuss about the conflict. Types of conflict is going to be external conflict and internal conflict. First is external conflict. Vicente has to start to the little girl. The mother slapped Vicente. Internal conflict. The mother is protective to her children. And now, kinds of conflict. Men versus men. Vicente was a pedophile who targeted the little girl. The story's protagonist to be his victim. So pedophile, it is a person who is sexually attracted to the children. And now, the characters. Mother, little girl, Oscar, the little boy, they are protagonists. Protagonists, which means the central characters of the story. And Oscar, the little boy, it can be considered also foil. And next is Vicente, antagonist, who opposes the protagonist. Next one is the father, foil. Foil, which means it is a minor character in the story. And right now, the characterization. First is the mother. Emphasizes the mother's magnificence. She is so proud of her children. And then Vicente, the man always so gentle, so kind, and the rest of him is in shadow, which means emphasizes the darkness. Queer, young man, his voice soft and his manner slow. And now, the little girl. Tall for their age, legs were the long gangly legs of fine-spirited colts, lazy in doing their homework, remain innocent and oblivious about what happened. Next is the little boy or Oscar. The same appearance with the little girl.
So next one is the point of view of the story is an omniscient point of view. The author sees, knows and tells all what is the story supposed to be. The narrator knows the thoughts and feelings of all characters in the story. The story is told by an all-knowing narrator, allowing the readers to see the world through the eyes of many characters, not just the protagonist. Type of omniscient. Omniscient objective. The author tells the story in third person. It appears as though a camera is following the characters going anywhere and recording only what is seen and heard. And for the theme, it will be discussed by Hannah.
Okay, so next one is the theme. It is actually the underlying main idea of the literary work. Mother's love. In the Magnificence, the mother showed on how she defended her children. Trust. The story showed how trust can easily come out of innocence. So next one is the implications of the story. Primacy of the mother. Daughter bond as well as into the psychological oppression of women and children, especially daughters, which emerges into the light of consciousness once the mask of false chivalry is wrenched away. as the basic ground for the physical and psychological domination of the male over the female. This can be read by parents for them to realize that you need to maybe check on the people that you trust your child with. You cannot trust everyone around you. Your children are very precious. As a parent, you want them to be always safe with the people that's around them. The next one, which is the imagery, will be tackled by Lucille.
Go.
So now we're going to talk about the imagery of the story. So imagery is the mental pictures that appeal to the senses, and also the representation of the ideas of the story in the minds of the reader. So first up is the visual imagery that mostly used to describe the characters or the scenario at the story. Her brother were bat in the light of the big shaded bulb. He'd throw his resort cup on the table and it would fall down with a soft thud. And he'd nod his head to say one was right or shake it to say one was wrong. Their mother saw them with eyes that held pride, and then to partly gloss over the maternal glowing shakes in them. Pencils big but like a circumference not smaller than a month's thumb. And the next one is, where Japanese Basaurus cluster, there were all colors of these pencils selling for very low. The little boy had 2 pencils, one green, one blue, and the little girl had 3 pencils, 2 of the same circumference as the little boy's, but colored red and yellow. And the third pencil, a jumbo-sized pencil, really was white and had green, sharpened, and the little girl jumped up and down. So now we're going to talk about the Tori imagery, which talks about the sense of sound in the story. So first up was his voice soft and his manners low. The mother voice was of such a heavy quality and of such awful timbre that the girl could only nod her head. And without looking at Vicente again, she raised up the spirits. So if you will be looking at this part of the auditory image, you'll see that the mother is very frustrated about what he saw, what Vicente did to her daughter. So also part of the highlight of the story. The next one is the tactile imagery, olfactory imagery. Sorry. So the olfactory imagery talks about the sense of smell in the story. So he would smell very creamy and sweet and homey. Then the next one is kinetic imagery, which talks about the sense of movement or tension in the story. So these are the following. To arouse the envy of other children who probably possess less. Add to the man's gentleness and his kindness in knowing a child's desires. When they got the pencils, they woke with joy, shouted with glee. The little girl went up to the man shyly. All little girls and boys had been envying them. And the next one is a tactile imagery. So tactile imagery is the sense of touch, which Vicente slapped the boy smartly on his slim hips. The man's arms tightened suddenly about the little girl until the little girl squirmed out of his arms and laughed a little breathlessly. All through that day, they have been very proud in school showing off their brand new castles. And the last is organic imagery. To arouse the envy of the other children who probably possess less. And now we're going to talk about the figure of speech, which will be tackled by Miss Regina.
Now let's proceed with the last topic, figures of speech. Let's start with simile. Simile is two essentially unlike things are being compared, often in a phrase introduced by like or as. So we have extracted these examples from the story Magnificence. First They don't have as many or as pretty. Vicente had jumped up too soon as the little girl had jumped from his lap. Her voice had been like a bell of safety to the little girl, the light that held like a taboo, the figures of Vicente holding the little girl's papers to him, and the little girl looking up at him, frightened. Those are example of simile. Now let's proceed with the metaphor.
Go.
Next is onomatopoeia. These are words that imitate the sounds associated with the objects or action they refer to. Let's look at the examples here. First, fall down with a soft plop. So onomatopoeic word is plop. Then next, beer in the wing. The word is beer. Whoop with joy. The word whoop. And last, Vicente slapped the boy smartly. The word slap. Let's now proceed with litotes. So litotes are understatement in which an affirmative is expressed by negating its opposite. We have only extracted one. I hope it's correct. We made no resistance and offered no defense. And then the last one, idioms. An idiom is a figure of speech that means something different than a literal translation of the words would lead one to believe. So there are lots of idioms mentioned on the story of Magnificence. So one, eating his evening meal between paragraphs of the book, softening his way through to him by going at the children like that. Then by and by, in a very short while, her mother came down the stairs. So these are also some idiomatic expression extracted from the selection. Sat at their lessons, the thing rested there, and Japanese confection makers had such likeness. There you go, that'll be all. Thank you so much.
So next one is the additional learning of the Magnificent story, which is the first one is don't easily trust strangers. We should not trust someone easily because we never know what their real intentions are. Like if their intentions are pure or clean. So that we will not be taken for granted or be fooled by someone whom we just met. We should examine or analyze them first. Because trust takes years to build, just a second to break, and forever to build. And the next additional learning is study hard, try not to be dependent on rewards. Because it is said by famous psychologist or physiologist, which is Ivan Pavlov, that rewards are better than punishment to children because they are being more motivated to do much better. And then again, we should not just rely on rewards because studying is our responsibility and it is not for our own benefit to gain knowledge, but it is a benefit that we can contribute to our society, the skills and the knowledge. That is all I think.